Thoughts can change your life. With me, Reverend Wolak. We're here each and every day as we explore, expand, and live our fullest and best lives. And you know why we do this? Because it's so much more fun when we're doing it with others, because it establishes a sense of personal responsibility. Oh, personal responsibility. That's what I'm going to talk about today. And my thought for the day was very simple. If everyone in the world was personally responsible for their lives, how would the world be different? Think about that. If everyone in the world took personal responsibility for their lives, how would the world be different? I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine how different it would be. Think about that. All codependency would disappear. Can you imagine if there were no longer any codependent relationships? Can you imagine if people took personal responsibility for their health? Can you imagine if people took personal responsibility for their wealth, for their education? Can you imagine if moms took personal responsibility for bringing their children up to be their most unique and perfect selves, and dads did the same? Can you imagine personal responsibility if, as a parent aged and could no longer take care of themselves, that they put in place everything necessary so that they would not be a burden to their children? Can you imagine if we held our politicians personally responsible for every vote that they did? Can you imagine if we held our businesses responsible for being good stewards of the planet? Can you imagine? It goes beyond, because if everyone on the planet was personally responsible, think about how everything would drastically change. There would be no more victims. Wow. I would never worry about living up to someone else's expectation. How freeing would that be? And this is the thing that really gets me. It just blows my mind the more I think about it, because the more personally responsible we are, the more free we are. Do you get that? We're free from the outside influence. We're free from others. We're free from dependency, because we've taken that responsibility. And who else can really take responsibility for us? No one else really cares about you. Can I be more clear about that? There's no one that cares about you as much as you do. I don't care if it's a mother, a father. I don't care if it's a husband, a wife. I don't care if whatever it is, a best friend. No one cares about you more than you do. No one even comes close. Now, I'm going against the norm that, my mom and dad got to care for me, number one. No, they don't. Their job is to get you to be independent. That's a parent's job, to get you to be free, independent, and personally responsible for your own life. Being a victim is a social construct, Christopher. There's no question about that in my mind, that we have been domesticated into believing that. And I'm still learning personal responsibility, because so many times as a minister, you're put into situations where people make you feel that you're responsible for what other people say, think, and do. Guess what? I'm not. And what I'm learning to do is to put that back on the people and let them be personally responsible. Let them answer for themselves, because I can't, because I don't know what's going on in anyone else. I'm not responsible for my wife. I'm not responsible for my sons. I have a responsibility to my granddaughter. Why? She's 3. That's the reason I have a responsibility to her. She's 3. And my role as a grandfather is to help mold her to be personally responsible for her own success, happiness, peace of mind. And here's the most important word I'm going to use today: well-being. I believe that if we all took personal responsibility, we would have a sense of well-being. And that's better than happiness, because happiness cannot exist all the time, but well-being can. What is well-being? Well-being means you understand the balance of life. You understand the balance of life. I haven't said hello to everyone, but let me do that. I know Stephen is there, Keshev, Ian, Wendy, Sabrina, Mayuka, Kai, and I know there's more. I just can't scroll right now because I'm talking to you. But I want you to know I pay attention to all of your comments because they influence me as to how do I take my talks in the mornings. Because I want you to notice that I don't plan much when I come on. I put a sentence out there, and then off I go, and then I'm feeding off the energy that you're putting on the side and doing that. Because this is about you and I having a meaningful relationship. A meaningful relationship is one that leads to a fulfilled life. I do not like shallow relationships. I will not be in shallow relationships. Why? It's a waste of my time. I look at it this way. It took me 70 years to realize how valuable time is. And now that I'm 70, I'm saying my life is so valuable, I won't waste my time. How do you feel about that? Do you like wasting your time? Do you realize that if you waste a moment of time, you never, ever, ever get it back? Never get it back. Why would you waste your time? Well, you know, they've been my friend for 25 years. I owe them something, but when I'm with them, it's really toxic. It's not positive. They're dark energy. They don't want to listen. They're the victim role. Well, go ahead, stay in the relationship because you're feeding it and it's eating away at your energy. Eating away at your energy. That's why at Agape, what we do is we teach conscious living so that we can experience a fulfilled and meaningful life. That's it. That's the dogma. People want to know, what's your dogma? Well, we teach how to live consciously. Why? So you can have a fulfilling and meaningful life. What will you do if God makes you your 20-year-old self? No, Keshev, if I was back to being 20, I would live more awarely knowing what I know now. And you know what? I still would be just as challenged. It would just be a different level of awareness, but the amount of challenges are there. See, no matter what's happening, your level of challenges will always be there because it's challenge that causes you to become more aware, to grow. But the way to have to deal with the challenges effectively is that we've got to be personally responsible for our lives. Yes, we have got to be personally responsible for our lives. See, I'm not responsible for my wife's happiness, health, wealth, and well-being. Well, wait a second. Wealth, we have an intermingled thing there because we're partners and we have agreements there. So wealth is a different thing, but I'm not responsible for her happiness. I'm not responsible for her health. I'm not responsible for her well-being. She is. Notice how freeing that sounds? Oh my God, it's so friggin' freeing. I'm not responsible. Guess what? All you people out there, I'm not responsible for you. And guess what? I return you the favor. You're not responsible for me. Just remember, people who have good intentions based on their perspective. Your perspective may be very different, and those same good intentions that they had may not be good for you. Best example I could give is that I wanted my sons to each have a college education. I felt that is the thing. I just believed that having that higher education was the best thing in the world. My younger son, he's got a master's degree. He's got that one. My oldest son dropped out, has 4 years of college, never finished his degree. He's not interested, but yet he studies all the time on his own. He is perpetually learning in his own unique way. I had a good intention for my son. It was the wrong intention for him. And I had to just learn to accept that a college education was just something that he didn't value. And I think what's happening in the world today, that's becoming more and more prevalent. The college is not teaching you how to think, it's teaching you what to think. And teaching you what to think doesn't give you freedom. It doesn't teach you personal responsibility. I taught my boys, to the best of my ability at the time of raising them, to think for themselves, to question everything. At times I say that bit me in the ass because they didn't listen to me. See, I wanted them to listen to me. Isn't it funny? It makes it so much easier. Yeah, Lori with Juliana. You've got to let her, just have her find what juices her. And whatever juices her, let her go for it. It's her life to uncover. It's her life to uncover. College is not her path. She's telling you that. Same thing with my Stephen did. Jess makes a beautiful statement. The eye only sees what the mind is prepared to comprehend. That's right. If you have a limited perspective, you will only see limitation. Here's the key thing. We think we have an imagination, but we've been so conditioned that our imagination only allows us to see a little bit more of what we're already tending to try to see. That's why it's great to be with people who think outside the box. Say, whoa, where did they get that? How did they think that's so big? Well, if they can do it, guess what? I can do it. Well, I don't intend to make these conversations an all-day event, although I would love to. Let me share with you. Today is a Wednesday, and Wednesday is Agape Gathering Day. Agape Gathering Day is we meet on Zoom. We have an afternoon group that starts at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. Anyone can join. A lot of the people in the afternoon group are Europeans because it's like 7:30 at night or 8:30 at night there. So they join at 1:30. And then we have a group tonight at 7 p.m. Everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome. And all we do is we share, we talk, we explore together, we support each other. If you're interested, go to agapespiritualcenter.com. agapespiritualcenter.com. Click on the calendar and you'll find the Zoom link. You're welcome. Doesn't matter if it's your first, second, third. Maybe you've never been before. Maybe you're scared. Don't be scared. If you're watching me, you know I bite, but it doesn't hurt. Anyway, I want you to know no matter what you do today, be you. And know that I love and accept you just like you are. Have a great day, everybody. Aloha.